Sure. So we welcome you all in this short webinar, short because it is just 90 minutes. And the topic, as you must have got the communication, it is towards using AI in PowerPoint, and it would not be limited just to PowerPoint and Office productivity tool. So trainer would be discussing more about the overall Power App, Power Platform, that entire stack, which is very exciting and very innovative stack from Microsoft. And the speaker for today, I would like to welcome Mr. Nived Verma. And Nived has more than 20 years of experience. He has been delivering training on varied modules and specialized in Microsoft tools technologies. I know him personally from last more than 15 years, and he has been delivering amazing trainings, seminars, events, workshop for our clients. And it has been amazing, experience working with him. And Nived would be taking ahead. It would be a short webinar, like I said, and it would be form of a discussion, some presentation, some demos, and followed by a short question and answer round, which would be like towards the end of the session. But during the session also, in case you have any queries, so it is always welcome. You can, raise your hand or put a message in the chat for anything you want a clarification on. And again, I'd like to welcome the esteemed audience. We have teams from telecom as well as a couple of other domains. So I won't waste much of time. And Nived, over to you. Please take it ahead. And I wish you all the best, a happy learning. Nived, over to you, please.
Hi, Navjot. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot for
Nived, we can hear you. Please go ahead.
Hi. Yeah. Hi. Good afternoon, everyone. And I welcome you all on this short webinar on one of the very, spoken topic in the modern world is about artificial intelligence. And uh, artificial intelligence has been one of the topics that I have been talking quite a lot of times with several audience, developers, architects, uh, project managers, product owners, back office teams, HR department, and several of them. So artificial intelligence, has been earlier. It used to be thought as something that is there for data science and things like that, right? However, one of the things that that I would like to highlight here is that now that boundary has been broken and that boundary has been crossed, right? I believe you are able to see my screen.
Yes.
Yes, yes.
Yes.
All right.
Yes, yes.
So far, as I said, artificial intelligence has been only limited to data science and companies which were using artificial intelligence for mostly working towards sales and marketing, etc. But now Microsoft has brought this artificial intelligence. Rather, I would say it is little premature to say that it has already brought, because Microsoft, we are just waiting our fingers crossed that the real power of artificial intelligence will creep into the productivity tools of Microsoft, right? That is Word, Excel, PowerPoint, and Teams and Outlook. But as a Microsoft certified trainer, I could get some access to some of these features, and I would like to show you here that how exactly this product can actually help in terms of in terms of giving you the access to the features that can be really helpful, and you can actually take advantage of this tool once it comes to that. Give me a minute. I think. All right. So today I would like to show you about some of the features of CoPilot. You might have heard of that. I will tell you what it is. And we will look into several aspects of using this artificial intelligence in Microsoft Office 365 productivity tools, as well as understand the power of Copilot in Power Apps. Basically, when people develop their applications on for their own, for their enterprise, many of you, I gather, are developers who have been there. So I would like to just, uh, share some examples. I would like to show you something here so that all of you will understand that what is the future of artificial intelligence. All right. As Microsoft, in the month of March 2023, announced that it is going to bring the Copilot into the realm of Microsoft Office 365 productivity tools. I have been hunting a lot, and I have been trying to, search for, and I have been trying to find out if, I can get a glimpse of what exactly it is and how exactly it works. It will be great for me to share with my audience. And as a trainer, I'm always very curious to know what is going on in the modern, technology. What are the improvements and how they are actually improving the way people work. So, uh, of late, actually, this the launch was somewhere. It is somewhat scheduled by the end of August somewhere, as I could hear, but there's no official announcement. So kindly take this not as an official announcement from my side, but Microsoft is definitely going to bring in this artificial intelligence called as a Copilot. All right. So I believe many of you would have already heard of Copilot, and you might have heard that what is a co-pilot. Co-pilot is a pilot, is an assistance to the main pilot, and it is a term which has comes from the aircraft cockpit, where there are two pilots. There is a captain, and there is a there is assistance which is provided to the captain, and that is the co-pilot. So here we are talking about software, and we are now talking about using this co-pilot into the very widely used applications of Office 365. All right, Chat GPT has been there now, and people have been using Chat GPT for quite some time, and they are trying to use Chat GPT for accomplishing several things, whether it is a sales pitch, whether they want to create slideshows, etc. But in this, I would like to show you that what exactly Microsoft plans to do, how exactly it does that. Now, in fact, why I have added some more topics into this session is because if at all I have to tell you only about PowerPoint, it can take hardly 5-10 minutes for me to show you that how does it work. But then that is not going to sufficient. That is not going to be sufficient for you. So therefore, I have added some more topics here, like co-pilots in Power Apps, in terms of how exactly this can help developers developing applications. As you might be familiar, Power Automate and Power Apps are Power Automate, Power Apps, Power Virtual Agent. They are the products from Microsoft, which are gradually allowing actually non-developers to develop applications for their own functional areas. So I'm going to show you one example as well, that how does this really happen and what is it actually going to work over here. Now, if you look at it here, this is Microsoft Outlook. All right. And actually, this is the insider preview. So I'm not supposed to, actually show you the product because Microsoft hasn't launched it so far. Somehow I could get hold of this. So imagine for a minute that you can see here that you have this, you are as soon as you will go ahead and get this icon coming after you press the @ the rate. @ the rate is actually a special symbol that will be used in most of the products for invoking the Copilot. And if you are not familiar, I would like to make you familiar with the terminology which is called as a prompt engineering. Now, prompt engineering is something which is going to be very, very important for everyone who is going to use the AI products which is there. Now, before I show you this short thing over here, let me tell you here, the world of AI is now changed, and earlier, when we used to understand about artificial intelligence, it was probably limited to Schwarzenegger's movies. All right, if you remember Terminator and even Mission Impossible, etc., some of the other places. But now this thing or this technology has made its way to the desktops and laptops of all of us. Right, prompt engineering is a special type of I would say, mechanism which actually prompts the artificial intelligence which is built into the application to do what you expect it to do. It is something like, for example, if you have a robot and you will speak in natural language to tell that robot to do something instead of you giving them, giving the robot instruction in a very specific manner, right? So one of the things that is happening now is in the area of artificial intelligence. They are trying to make the software understand the natural language which human beings speak. And now it has come to the area where we talk about, rather than we learning the tool, let the tool learn from us what we want it to do. Earlier we have, many of us have mastered this product, and we know where to go in Excel to do what, where to draw the chart, and plenty of things, how to create a slide, etc. But look at this short snippet over here. As you look at this screen, you can find that there is a CoPilot which has come over here. Now, when is this going to come? It is still, as I said, mystery. But as you will keep on updating your Microsoft Office 365 product, one fine day, the Microsoft is going to allow you to put this CoPilot into the action. Right? I'm not getting into the ethical part of it, whether it will be probably eliminating the jobs, etc. But what I'm looking at it is that how exactly this tool can improve the productivity of people who work on this. Now look at this particular look at this particular set of actions in Copilot. We are going to look at, and we have just typed in here that someone like Tasha is going to graduate from high school, and they and we want to go ahead and celebrate this particular thing, and we want the logistics information from Glenwood Spring confirmation, etc., whatever is there. So you are writing, basically you're telling the Copilot to draft an email, and this email has to be sent to the friends and anybody from there who would be invited. So this is the invitation mail that we would like to write. So rather than sitting and thinking about what to write and all, if at all we make use of something like this Copilot, you can see what is going to happen. Now, after that, when we click on generate, you can see that it is creating the draft. And as it creates the draft, it has just generated the text that we need over here. You can see several other options, that have arrived here on this screen. I hope this email finds you as you are already know, blah, blah, whatever. The graduation party scheduled on so and so date from so and so time to the center, parking details. Now, how did it come to know about this Friday 15th? It is basically because in the previous screen you saw there was a mail which was received which has the details of Glenwood Spring Community Center. So it can even read the data, it can even read the files, mails, etc. for you. Many of you would have experienced this Viva Insight. I don't know how many of you have actually worked with that, but Viva Insight can actually do wonders, and it can do a lot of things for you. People are sometimes unaware of that, but it is pretty powerful tool which can help you in doing a lot of things. But that is also somewhat kind of a artificial intelligence that is brought into the software application. So this mail is being drafted. It is saying that draft with Copilot, and it says, dear family and friends, blah blah, the graduation party is to be held here, the details are here, we will have food, drinks and music to enjoy our friends and family. It will be a wonderful opportunity to congratulate Tasha on blah blah, which is there. Now look at the bottom of this over here. You can see that there is a edit option. So if you're not happy with this mail content, you can always click on edit. If you want to regenerate, maybe you're not okay with this, you can regenerate, and you can also go ahead and decide that you will be going ahead and doing the adjustment of the message which is going to arrive or which has been written over here. All right. So if you look at it, if at all I can indicate here, insert, you can find that here that as we say insert attachment, you can see that these are the graduation, maybe we want to do a project planning, or we want to go ahead and do the graduation photos, etc. This all can be added here. So if at all we say this, you can see the attachment is shown to us over here that is going to be attached for the things here, and also the confirmation mail which is going to be out over here. Now when we look at it, you can find that it is revising the draft. All right. And after it has done, now I can go ahead and indicate that I would like to probably perform this as several options that it will be offering me. For example, if I find that this mail is too big, maybe I want to shorten it or medium it, or we want to change the size of the mail that will be sent. We can do that all with the help of this Copilot, as it will come over there. All right. Remember, I have just recorded this because I'm not supposed to show you the actual product here, because that's a Microsoft Insider product. That's not allowed from Microsoft to demonstrate, but do understand that it is how it is going to work here. So you look at here, you have several things here that, like, the writing style. If you are writing a professional mail, you are writing it as a neutral, or maybe you can make it a poem. You can see that option here as well. You can see that I can tell Copilot that I would like to make a poem out of whatever has been generated here. All right. So you can choose writing styles, and going forward, Microsoft is going to definitely improve upon these areas, and it is going to tell us that, more and more options are likely to emerge as such in this case. All right. So if at all, we click on short here, it has gone ahead and it has shortened the mail for us in this context. All right. Once it shortens the mail here, then I can go ahead and, use this as an option that will be there. So with the help of Copilot, people will be in a position to use this in Word also. So you can, beside Outlook, as I've shown you, you can use it in Copilot in Word, and you can just jumpstart to create process. So you never start like a blank slate again. You can also use, for example, you can look at it, create content with Copilot, draft a proposal from yesterday, and then you can see that there is a meeting notes which is already there, a file which should be read up and work on that. Now come to this here, whereby we can look at some of the tools that are available to us for uh, so sorry, it went off. I believe it is visible now. I'm so sorry. I think the presentation got stopped.
Yes, it is visible now.
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thank you. All right. So as I was telling you that now I would like to tell you here a couple of things about Copilot in PowerPoint. All of us create presentations. All right. And with the help of Copilot, and with the help of some, simple prompting, it can create really stunning presentations that we might be, we might want to look at, and we might want to probably use when it comes to working on this. So if you look at this particular feature here, let me show you over here that if at all we can provide some information, like for example, if you look at it here, that I'm going to type here that make a presentation that helps celebrate my daughter Tasha's high school graduation. She is graduating from Glenwood Springs. She plays soccer, does drama, and is an electronics club. On the honor roll, our advice to her is to be bold and adventurous. All right. You're telling Copilot that around this brief, you would like it to create create a presentation, and that could be there. All right. So something like this can be done with the PowerPoint also. All right. So you can see that there is an empty slide here, and it can work on that. Do remember, friends, if you have used chatbot can also help you in creating, rather I would say Chat GPT can also help you creating slides and presentation very easily. All right. If at all you give it a topic, it can just create the presentation for you. I will try to show you a short demo of that as well, that how can you automatically generate slides. It may not generate every content into it, but definitely you are now going to work with two products. You are having a Chat GPT and you have PowerPoint, but the days are not very far that these two products will be merged together, and you are going to get a Copilot coming inside this particular Office 365 productivity tool as well. Also remember, if many of you or any of you who have been developers, you might have experienced Copilot in GitHub, which can help developers write the code, right? That means if you are a programmer and you would like to probably, write some code, how would you go about doing it? All right, that Copilot can do that for you. So if it can generate the programming code that is much more complex, days are not very far that we are going to see the presentations, Word documents, Excel, Outlook, Teams, everywhere. This particular, this particular piece of information will become this particular piece of software will do the job for us, and it will bring up the information that we are looking out for. All right. So if you look at this here, after typing this here, you can see this you can see this icon here. You can see this, there is a icon for style. And if at all you want to make this presentation, since this is a celebration, we can go and indicate that we want to again create a style of presentation. Like you saw that we have an example in Word where we can tell it the style of writing a document. We can also tell it the option to write, create a presentation with a specific style. For example, should it be funny, colorful, minimalist, sentimental, festive, colorful, etc. So how exactly these things happen? Actually, Copilot or this kind of AI products are being learning from the several and billions of records and data that is available in public repository, and many times which are shared by all of us. So this particular type of, this particular generation is what is called as this particular generation where we actually generate this particular kind of content is done with the help of what is called as a generative AI or generative artificial intelligence. Generative artificial intelligence is a branch of artificial intelligence which is in picture, and this branch is actually, thinking, it is actually emulating the thinking like a human being, right? So how does it actually work? So let me tell you how exactly these co-pilots, etc. work. Now there is a very deep learning models which are created, and these learning models are capable of learning from the data that is provided to them, right? So they are trained, and these learning models are then converted into a software like the one which is Copilot. All right. So primarily when you do a prompting here, what is actually happening? In prompting, this particular piece of text is being sent to an endpoint at the back end to the provider of the artificial intelligence. And there, this particular text is processed, and then the result is being sent back to the software. Now, the real challenge why this plugin becomes real challenge that companies will face in getting the plugins is how do I actually translate what is returned by the Copilot into a software application? Like, for example, this summary, when it is sent to a backend where it reads the summary and it says, yes, I have slides, no problem. Then how are you going to, when it comes back to you after the call, how are you going to convert that into the slide? And that is where the real challenge happens. We do all understand that, we have been automating several things in Microsoft products or family of products by means of macros and Visual Basic for application VBAs. And of late, there has been a lot of options available, a lot of options available, like for example, you have Power Platform, and you have AI Builder or artificial intelligence builder, which can actually build contents for you, which can actually go ahead and build the contents for you, and it can make it work for you, and it can do that for you. All right. So that is something that we can decide, and then we can decide to take care of that, and we can configure that. So this is something that can happen, and we can achieve a lot with this. Coming back to this over here. Now, when I say this here, let us see this in action. All right. How does this really happen? So something has been told, then we style, we say fun, or fun and as well as festive, and we click on that button. Now it is saying that it is searching for the relevant, it is searching for the relevant, it is searching for the relevant contents in the OneDrive for Business. Tremendous, isn't it? When I say that I wanted to do that, I can actually, because when I install Copilot, it will have all the permissions to read my data from several places. It will go ahead and look at it from here, and it tells you. Now you see, if you look at the right hand side of the screen, it says here is a draft with 9 slides. So what it has done is that it has gone ahead and created 9 slides, including section for memories, accomplishments, and advice for future. because that is exactly what we mentioned it. And consider personalizing slide number 7 and 9. Pretty intelligent, and it is capable of telling us all this. Let's move on further and see what exactly happens here. So once this particular this particular thing has been created for us, then we can decide that we would like to go and probably look at the slide number 7. And when you look at the slide number 7, you find this accomplishment. Right now, what happens here is that in this particular slide, if I want to tell Copilot that it should do some changes, it should actually make something work for me, then I will have to type inside this box over here. You can see this box here. This is the place where I would like to do it. Now you notice that there are a couple of other buttons also, like add an image or add animation. So Copilot will be able to do that as well for us. And here it says, describe what would you like to create, or type / for suggestions. So this kind of prompting will happen, that you would like it to do something that you wanted to accomplish. Now look at this here. What am I going to tell this particular one? Maybe I would like that this particular this particular thing should be changed to something like, for example, here, if you look at it, you can see that rewrite this slide to be make it more concise. This particular slide is there, and it says rewrite this slide to be more concise and add relevant images. All right, let's see how it works and what it really does for us. So it says, I rewrote the slide and added the image. You can see that suddenly, suddenly this particular piece of information has been changed here. You can see that in this here, this slide has been modified. It has added some graphics also, and it says here, and it tells me here what I said: rewrite this slide to make it more concise and add relevant images. I rewrote the slide and added images. Remember to check for accuracy. Now, do remember, sometime or the other, this particular product could become, it could be wrong, because it is in the stages where it may not be always correct. So it is very important that we as human beings are still needed, and we would like to go ahead and we may want to edit, and we must cross check everything that it is produced. Even in, I would recommend everyone to practice this also in Chat GPT. Many times people are using Chat GPT as a tool, pretty good, but then also honor and understand that it is not human. There may be sometimes scenarios where it has probably done something which is it has probably generated something for you which is not a very not something that may be factually incorrect, or may not be in the right spirit of the things that you are producing. So after we told that rewrite this slide to make it more concise and add relevant images, let's see what happens next here. Now we go to this bold and be bold and adventurous. This is an advice. Remember, it told us that change. We told it that we advised to be bold and adventurous. So, and it also told us that consider personalizing side number 7 and 9, because the reason is it is capable of understanding that these things could be somewhat very much customized. So you still have an option, and that is something that we all need to practice when it comes to that. So let's see what happens over here, that if at all I select this text, and then I am going to go ahead and tell it something out over here. For example, I am saying that replace the image with that goes with the adventure of flying. You can see that it is showing us this here. It is telling us that this is exactly how it is. And if at all I say next, and then it is revisiting the slide, you can very much see that this particular slide has been this particular slide it has added here. You can see this here. I replace that image. What's next? You can see that previously this particular slide was having an image of a rocket or something. Now it has changed the image. It has added the animation, animated kind of a GIF or something like that, and it is doing the job for us. All right. And now you can see that I'm saying that add transition between all the slides. I don't want to go through each slide and then do the transition. Sometimes we often forget, and when we go to the presentation, we find that our slides are coming like the transparencies or like a small piece of paper appearing. But we understand that transitions can be always very exciting, and it can it can keep the momentum of my presentation and interest of the of my audience alive. So if at all I do that here, then what it is going to do is that it is going to add the transition, and it says here transitions added between the slides here. All right, and these slides are now having this over here. So overall, what I wish to tell you here is that such type of features can really make you productive. They can help you in doing things better and faster, and it can actually help you doing the things that you are expected to do as it might be. Now notice that if at all I say present, and you can see that this transition effect which has appeared over here. Now, let us try to look at a different scenario altogether. All right. When we have a Copilot, you can see here on the top right corner, there will be this icon appearing in your toolbar once it gets installed and gets patched. Now, look at this here. Now, here, there is a peculiar scenario. What we want Copilot to do is that we want it to go ahead and we are going to tell it that, something related to business that I would like it to create for me. All right, it says create a presentation based on, create a presentation. All right, just a minute. Now, when I say create a presentation based on, then I would like my Copilot to read the file, a Word document, which has been created in the past by me. Maybe I have already got several proposals. I have a particular format. I have a piece of information in that proposal. Now, what I want to do is that I don't want to open a side-by-side window and read the contents of the proposal, and then I start, creating a pitch presentation for my audience, for my client where I'm going now. I already have similar presentation, and now I want Copilot to do that job for me. Let's see what it does here. When I select and provide this file here, it is scanning the file, and after scanning the file, you see the magic happening over here. All right, it says here that it has made the Van Artsel proposal into 5 slides, but it should take about 10 minutes to present. Even it is telling you that how much should it will take, or will it take really for you to present these slides. So accordingly, if you imagine that if you come to know about these things here, that is working, it can be really boon for you. You don't have to spend time in doing a lot of rehearsal and trying to think and tell and probably fixing up an appointment with the client, that this is the amount of time that you're going to take when it comes to the meeting that you're going to have and make the proposal to the client as such over here. All right, so when we look at it, you will find tremendous productivity facilities that are going to be available to you with the help of this kind of a Copilot. All right, this is a Copilot in action. You can see that I don't have to even create my background slide, the colors, or any images. It has read my proposal. It has understood that this proposal is about a sustainable building material, proposal to supply sustainable building material. It is capable of actually generating this kind of slideshow for me, not only in text but also in graphics and images that are going to be that are being added over here. So when you look at it, you can see this slides and all, and now I can probably go through the slides, and I would like to go and indicate that these slides are the ones that I would like to keep when it is working over there. Now look at this Word document. All right, I would like to show you here that how exactly this word contained with Copilot can be generated. All right, we saw Outlook, we saw PowerPoint, but if at all we would like to see here, we can see here that we wanted to draft a proposal for one RSL based upon a meeting notes. So there is already a document of meeting notes which is there, and we would like to we would like the Copilot to make a proposal. This is the use of this in Word as such over there. All right, so you can see that I can even select this from here, like product roadmap. You have this all available, bi-weekly roadmap meeting, etc. I can always go and draft a proposal and include the product offers from another Word document. All right, so when we make it work, when we decide to make it work for it and say go ahead, it is going to go ahead and it is going to create things for me. You can see that product, price, design, timeline, next step, etc. Everything is in focus, and you have the you have the almost a draft proposal ready. Once again, I would like to remind you that particularly when this kind of products are used, they are still like a human can commit mistake. Copilot can also be wrong at times. So it is always advised that when your organization or anyone decides to go about making use of Copilot, it is very important that this particular the proposal etc should be read first thoroughly. Please don't fully depend upon it. All right. There have already been stories on internet about the disasters that have happened because of the artificial intelligence and chat GPT. Right. So this is something that all of us have to be careful about. This product will take some time to mature. Don't start believing that everything that the Copilot is doing in either of the products is something that is going to be that is going to be 100% true, or it is exactly how you have been wanting it. And that's the reason why Microsoft is still doing the testing of these products. And then this after this product is ready for the market, it is going to arrive and you are going to have that product in your desktops or laptops as a productivity tool within Microsoft itself, within Microsoft product itself, like Word, Excel, PowerPoint, etc. Now, before I proceed with this, if any of you have any questions or queries, I would welcome and I would like to answer them. Please go ahead. So far.
Yeah, one question. So if I provide a input template, let's say for our company, there is a
Yep.
standard template. We have a standard font size, colors, background, all that. And yeah, can it perform a task like what you explained?
Yeah, definitely. You see, this kind of things are already there in PowerPoint. If you look at it, not the whole template, but yes, it will definitely, I mean, I would say that that's going to be naturally a part of that anyway, because maybe, we are already familiar with the product that Microsoft has, which is the designer. You can see this designer. It can suggest the templates, but yes, going forward, it is going to definitely do that as well, that it is going to even generate slides on the basis of your template. And whatever you do over here, this is something that we have been already using for this. We also have here dictate, whereby we can use this is also cognitive services which are linked with power with the PowerPoint and every Microsoft product. So I don't have any doubt that it will not be able to do that. It will definitely be able to do that. Anything else?
Yeah, thank you for clarifying.
You're
Thank you. So
welcome.
similarly, for example, now here this Copilot is creating entire PPT. Like
Yeah.
for example, we have our own existing PowerPoint. So for example, we have some slides, so that needs to be refined with the use of
Correct.
Copilot. Is that also be possible, right?
Yeah, definitely. You have to just like you saw one of the slides which was created. You saw that when we gave a prompt to it that make it concise or add images. Can you recreate it? Can you just refurbish my slides? Definitely, it is going to happen, Sikandar.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other queries so far? You can either raise hands, put in chat. Yeah,
Similar
please.
to what Sikandar was asking, I just wanted to ask, like, if we have a data in an Excel and we wanted to update the PowerPoint, so can it take the data from Excel and update
Yes,
it?
definitely. See, when it is going to come into effect, it will integrate 360-degree to all the 365 products. You just now saw how
Mm.
it pulled the data from Word and OneNote. It will also
Mm.
pull the data from Excel and bring it into, but you have to just simply say @ and your file name. And as
Okay.
long as the
Okay.
file is accessible, because when you install this Copilot, you need to give the permission to read OneDrive, etc., everything, right? It will definitely do that.
Great. Great. Thank you.
You're welcome.
So basically, Copilot will be using the Chat GPT AI model, right? For the regenerative purpose.
Yeah, it is. See, the foundational model is always that. Foundational,
Chat GPT.
okay, foundational models are always that only. All right. However, when we talk about actually going ahead and looking at the little bit of background of how these things work, even the chat GPT works, it makes use of what is called as a LLM, right? Which stands for large language models, right? So that is the crux of the matter of chat GPT. So large language models are pre-trained on vast amount of textual data that can span to the variety of domains, etc., everything which is there. And that is why it is going to definitely going to use that large language model within itself, which is the backbone of the chat GPT or generative AI for that matter.
So
All
in
right.
that sense, I mean, organization has to allow their database if they want to train, right, to the chat GPT to get it trained for a particular
For their
say
domain.
for particular let's say organization is on particular domain and they have that data to get it trained, then they have to share it with the chat GPT, correct?
They have to not chat GPT. Actually, there are versions of chat GPT now coming up in the market which are called as paid versions, where your data will remain with you. But
Mhm.
definitely that is what we talk about, responsible AI. So you have to be very careful about what you're sharing and what you're not sharing, right? So like initially, when the cloud computing came,
Mhm.
everybody thought that, when I store a file on a cloud storage, Google will know what is there in the file, Microsoft
Mhm.
will know what is there in the file, but those kind of security will be in place that even if you share your data will be, I can understand your concern.
Understood.
Yeah, definitely. So that will be there.
Yeah, understood. So probably it follows the cloud, the security and what we have currently. Yeah, understood.
100%, 100%. It does.
Nived, just a follow-up question from the last one from my side.
Yeah, Navjot.
So what I understand is going forward, there could be in-house LLMs, in-house large language models, domain-based, which an organization can host, right? They're in-house large language models, which will act as chat GPT engines.
No, but that is, I see a very far-fetched possibility because Navjot, for that you need a very extensive computing, right? You need very extensive computing and
Mhm.
storage because that has to see. Just try to think in terms of that. Can everyone have a search engine like Google running within their organization,
Correct.
right? That's very difficult to achieve, because of the nature of algorithms and all, and these are all proprietary. Large language model is a model, but what is the algorithm behind them, what are the algorithms behind them, maybe they will package and give it to you to make it work, like Microsoft and various other companies have also provided plugins for the search. Similarly, there will be a LLM module that will be available that you can plug into your own organization's infrastructure and it will work in that way.
I understand that. Thank you.
Yep.
Thanks, Amit.
You're welcome.
Oh, I have one question.
Please tell me.
Hello. So, let's say in this Copilot thing, let's say if I get one output and I need that action to be repeated every time whenever I'm come across this scenario, and I like
Mhm.
what the outcome that AI has given me. Is it possible, to store that instance in a such a way that okay, next time I don't have to ask in a specific only in that text. Okay, I just I name that instance something and just call it every time I require it.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. Because see, I'll tell you one thing, you don't have to even do that. The reason is, Amit, because these Copilot is always learning from what you are telling it also. Whatever prompt engineering that you're doing, it is capable of learning from your your engineering and all. You have to simply tell that like last time or whatever instance that you have probably preserved it. That is definitely going to be the things that will follow up. I fully agree with you.
Okay, because every time, sometimes, we ask something and every time it gives some different answer, or it may perform different action. So,
Yeah, yeah.
sometimes you like something and if you want to save it and, repeat, keep doing that, that's something just one. Okay.
Yeah,
If is it
definitely,
possible to save that
definitely.
and, okay, just do this or create a routine in that if possible.
No, routine, yes, see, I'll tell you. Now we will go into that direction, Amit, because when it comes to repeating the routines or like probably you're saying that step processes of steps and all, that can be incorporated in the software like SharePoint and all, right? Whereby we can create workflows. And now this, artificial intelligence, using the artificial intelligence, we are capable of automating those activities. We can always tell it that we want, this to happen or that to happen, and that will definitely take place.
So guys, shall we move ahead?
One question from my side. So
Yeah.
I don't know whether this question has answered already or not. So my question is, do we get this A1 features, whatever we have been discussing in our Microsoft Office products, as additional features, or an organization should be opted for, different plans to get it?
Okay, now at the moment, Microsoft has not disclosed anything about how are they going to offer the product as such. But what I have heard, is that you can enable or disable it on the basis of the products. Like for example, you don't want it to be a part of Excel, right? You can always disable it. So you will be buying that product as a organizational product. Uh, Definitely, there's going to be, at the moment, they are not discussed again, as I said, about any pricing model, etc. But definitely it is going to be there because they invest a lot of money in all these areas. But when you buy at the organization level, like the way you assign the licenses, you can also enable and disable this add-on for individual users, group of users, and also within that you will have the opportunity to select whether you want to enable it for a specific product or all the products. Tabrij,
Okay, okay. Thank you. Thanks for
you're
answering.
welcome. You're welcome. All right, so shall we move on?
Yeah.
Yep, sure.
Yes, very. Yep.
Just give me a minute. Just 1 minute. Huh? Okay, give me 2 minutes. Huh? There is some issue with my. I was going to show you something here. Just there is a bit of authentication challenge. Give me a minute. I was going to show you something. So sorry for that interruption. I think there is a challenge. Give me 2 minutes. I will be on my way. Mhm. Is my screen visible now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So as I was telling you about this inclusion in this, you can see that this is exactly where it comes from, that it is scanning through the data and it is able to now generate whatever we would have ever wanted it to do. You can see that I was just trying to pull up this part of the scenario here. Like I was telling you about, I think there was a question that if at all I provide it with a template, will it be capable of creating something by using my own template? You can see an example here. All right. It says here that, make it look like at the rate. And then you have this one proposal that we are right now creating is for Van Diesel. And then here we are saying that we want it to look like the proposal that was there in this template, which is here. You can see that there is a template called as Prosware proposal final, and this is the template that you have, and you are telling it just like that, you make it look like this. So you see what will happen as a result of that. All right, once we tell it, all right, then make it look like this. It can say that draft proposal on so and so, include product offers from so and so. It says I created a proposal with these two files, what next? Right? And you can see that it is reading through these files and it is capable of adding up the images, etc. Everything that was there in those proposals, it read through those OneNote file, it read through that format of the proposal. It looks pretty different here. What I'm trying to say is that this kind of copilot will allow the transition or the use of data from Word into PowerPoint, PowerPoint into Word, or Excel into PowerPoint, or Outlook, or Teams, or everything for that matter. right? So that will become something, which will be of great advantage to all of us, right? Here, if you look at it, we have this, this particular proposal which is being created here, and you can see that I can even indicate that add a summary. There is a button here you can see, and it is reading through the new proposal, and it is going to add a summary at the top of my document as well. So if you look at it here, a summary has been added here where, where we want to, where we want to allow it to access that. So in this fashion, it is quite possible for me to go ahead and take advantage of this this kind of a co-pilot infrastructure to make things simpler and easier for me. It is going to definitely work in this way. It can even add the summary. It can say that suggest ways to improve my document. It can again perform, or it will scan the document like the way you were saying that you have some slides. I'm sure when it is going to work in Word, it is also going to work with your slides as well, or Excel. Probably if you are using some kind of a analytics in Excel, it may suggest you that you can go for pivoting on this column or that column, things like that. So that way, this is how it works here, and you can see that it tells use a specific quantifiable term. Avoid using vague and generic terms, like opt for more concrete terms then demonstrate your expertise, quality, and performance. Effective proposal often have a FAQ, increase the reader's understanding to help them make an informed decision. So you can see that there is a, after it has suggested to improve, you can see that it is telling us a couple of ideas here. And there is a button here which says add an FAQ. And if I click on that, you can see that it is capable of generating the FAQ form on the basis of my document. So this way, this generative AI and the way the artificial intelligence is going to, come on your desktop or, laptops and all, it is definitely going to make a lot of difference in the way that you are going to work and the productivity that you likely to have. So this is something that can happen here. Now look at here that if at all we look at at this here, you can see that draft a proposal Van Dazzle based upon this, and it will go on, and it can definitely look at this. I'm just taking you through the whole process once again, and it is going to tell you about FAQ and all, and this FAQ has been also added to your document. All right, so this can happen. Now if we want to turn our Word document into a PowerPoint presentation, now this is something which you would like to probably achieve when you are working with the working with this over here. Have a look at it how exactly this will happen. All right, this is the one where it is, I say create a presentation based on @ this proposal. So my proposal is ready, and I would like to go ahead and indicate that I would like this proposal to be created on the basis of my document that I have just now used over here. And once I do that and I ask it to go, it will scan through the files, and now you see that it has also generated my presentation for me. All right, it has generated into 5 slides and would take about 10 minutes. This is exactly what I was showing you earlier as well. So this way, this kind of product can help in terms of giving us the advantage and edge over the current environment and things like that. Now, let me take you to one more, one more interesting example that I wish to tell you here. This is my chat GPT, for example, and if at all in this one, I would like to say, generate 5 slides, or all right, I'll say generate PowerPoint, 5 PowerPoint slides about, let's say, global warming. All right. So it is going to do that for me, and it is definitely going to generate a set of flights here. Now, remember, imagine this is the same thing that is going to arrive in your, in your scenario as well. It is going to definitely, work on this way. It is going to tell me that this is exactly how it is going to be. All right. Not only this, I would like to probably tell it that it is just an outline, etc. For example, if I say here, generate code for creating above slides in PowerPoint, for example. All right, look at this here. Can you see that? It is in Python. You can see that I can use Python and it is going to read the Python for me and it is going to make it happen for me. Right? You can see that this is generating the code. This is the kind of things that, has come inside nowadays. All right. Maybe I'm interested in, probably I say stop generating. I can go and say that same question and I will say that I would like it to be saying that this should be generated using VBA, for example, right? Let's see if at all it can do this for me. Now you notice here, it has generated a VBA code for me. Now what I'm supposed to do here, I have to go to my PowerPoint presentation and paste this code and then execute this code and it will do that job for me, right? Still, if you have chat gpt, you all can still continue to use this and then you can make it work for you and it can definitely help you in generating the slides for you. Maybe you would like to go further and tell it something more. This is exactly the same thing that is working inside your PowerPoint presentation, the slides that I was showing you, some of these recordings that I was showing you here, and you can see that it is going to go and do that for me. It says here, make sure to update the file path PowerPoint presentation dot save as line in your desired location to save the PowerPoint presentation. Now let's say if at all I copy this file and I would like to go and I have this blank presentation here, right? And I go to the developer tab, right? And I would like to go ahead and probably say view code here. And when I go to the view code, I can go and, maybe I would like to go in here and I would like to say insert, and maybe I will say insert a module and I paste this code over here, right? And let me try to run this code in this case. It says here integer index is not valid, etc. Now what has happened here? You have to still go ahead and tweak. You see, it says here placeholder item to text frame, text range introduction to global warming. All right, it is at the moment not, it is just going to require you to have the slides in place with the placeholder names. You can see the placeholder title 2, slide 3, all this kind of things will always be there and you can do that. However, I can finally briefly tweak this macro or VBA, whatever you can call it as, and it can then generate the presentation for me. It can definitely go ahead and generate the presentation for me, which will include the slides that I'm looking out for. So this is the same thing. I've just tried to show you here that how does this really work in the background. All right, you notice that this is my module. It has created another presentation for me. All right, if I look at here, it says create global PowerPoint app as an object, create a new instance of PowerPoint. So actually what it is doing is that it is actually going to create a new presentation for me, and in that new presentation it is going to add new presentation to me. Maybe if I would like to just go and mark it as a quote here, maybe I'm marking this as a comment here. All right, and I would like to say this way, and probably if at all I like to go and say suppose I try to now execute, maybe I would like to stop executing first and say execute this code. It says here variable is not set with a block somewhere or the other. I need to go ahead and probably indicate that here. So once I do that, I can definitely go and add my presentation into this in this one. For example, if I just go ahead and probably try to copy this command and run it as a code, it can still do that job for me. All right. So that is something that is quite possible. That is exactly what is happening with the CoPilot, which is taking or generating the code and it is giving you the slides here within this itself. So that's how probably you will be able to understand that this is exactly how it works in the back end. I just wanted you to know that when you have a presentation or something like that, you can always go and ask it to run the command at the back end and it will do the needful for you in this. Notice that these things are still in a little bit of stage. I need to go and tweak. I still need a development knowledge to achieve this kind of fate for generating my code and product. All right, so you have to take care of that part, that you are able to able to get that, and then only it will happen. and you will be in a position to, make it work. Just a minute. Just 2 minutes, huh? I was trying to pull up something. Give me 2 minutes. I think. In the meanwhile, if you have any questions or queries, please go ahead. Actually, my environment has been there, but somehow it has got disabled. So I'll have to wait for 2-3 minutes before it can. Actually, I was going to show you something related to, Power App and incorporation of builder models in that. It's 2 minutes. All right, I'm so sorry for this slide delay. Let me show you something here. Thank you for your patience. All right, look at this, this particular, option that is there for me. All right. When I come to a Power App, I just want to show you that beside PowerPoint and, products which are Office 365, if you ever wish to go ahead and develop something for your organization, maybe you would like to, probably take care of building up something like document processing or uh, receipt processing or text recognizer or object detection or prediction, we can, we can definitely make it happen, and we can always look at it. All right, now here, if you look at, you have something called as a AI models. So if you click on the AI models, you will be in a position to see the models that you can create here. All right, it says here, bring AI to your apps, start AI 30-day trial it out. I say start a free trial. It will just enable the free trial for me. I just want to show you that, how exactly we can actually get started with it. All right. So in this context, if at all we want to go, we can always, train my object detection model or different type of AI models that are available to me. Maybe I would like to go for a connection. All right. You can see that I have several of these connections available. I can enable the connection to the location where my information is, and I can I can very much indicate that and make it work for us. All right. Okay. Let us do a very simple example here. Right. For example, here in this case, if I go into this and click on create, and I would like to click create a blank canvas app or blank app based upon this here, right? So I can indicate this, like I would like to go for a blank canvas app. I will say test app, for example, and click on create. Now, here it is possible for me that I can create something from the data, all right? And once I have that there, I can include this Power Automate or anything that I need here. You notice that I have this, we will build the shell of a Canvas app for my input screen. If at all we want it here, you can see that this is my input screen, which is there. It says if I click here, now it expects me to connect to a data. And if at all I click on add data, then I would like to probably click on contacts. Suppose I say that I would like to get connected with contacts here. All right. And from this contact, if I can just, decide that I have added the data. Now, what is it that I want here? For example, here, in this case, I would like to go and add individual items from here. For example, if I say vertical gallery, all right, and I would like to say contact, you can see here that it has developed a gallery for me. These are all the users who are there, and I can, see this contacts from here. All right. Now, in this, what I want to do here is that in this case, I would like to go and probably if I go here and I would select here screen, this is my screen, right? And this is my gallery. And within this gallery, you can see that I have all of this information that is available to us, right? So maybe if I want, I can always, configure that I want to go and add a field here. I would like to, edit the form, and I can go and add information into this. Now, in this context, what I want to show you is that give me a second. I think I can do one thing is don't save. And create Dataverse. This will be much faster. Please give me a minute because we don't have a lot of time. So I just want to show you as quickly as possible. Microsoft Dataverse, create. Let me authorize this. Allow the access. And I will click on connect to contact. Give me a minute. I'll just take a few minutes here. I want to just show you the AI capabilities that are within this. Right. So here, if you look at it, I have a screen here and I have this form here. You can see that this is my form. And here I have these fields that are available to me. I'll select edit fields. Right. All right. You can see that email, full name, business. Right. I can say add, and I would like to add a couple of fields here. For example, if at all I say here last name should be added. Right. I would like to also add job title. I would also like to add mobile phone, just to show you how this really works. Address 1, street, city. Address 1, city. And I would like to also add email is already there. So I say add here. You can see that all these fields have been added in this form for me. All right, this is my contacts form in this one. All right. So if we want, we can always reorder these fields from here by arranging them. So if you go to the edit, I can say that the first name goes at the full name goes at the top, then the last name, then the job title, right? And then below that, I want mobile phone. Then address city 1, and then city, and finally email over here. Maybe I don't want this field. I can just simply remove. right? So my file, you can see here that now my data has started arriving into this over here. Okay, now we can just drag it slightly on this side for a minute from here. And I would like to drag this fellow slightly down. In this case. Okay, now if we look at this insert button here, let me save this file. App 1. Okay, if I go to this AI builder, you can see that I have here something called as a business card reader. You can see that with this AI builder within my application, I can read a business card, allow it. I can do a receipt processor, form processor, object detector, or text test recognizer, right? Maybe I try to drag this and put it inside this here. Got it? No problem. Give me a minute. I think I can do something more than this. Let me go to the edit form and I will remove some of these fields. I don't want email. I don't want mobile phones. So I have some, I'm just creating some space here, all right? Okay, so this is my business card reader, right? It tells me here that scan to add the business card. You can just, use this over here, right? Let me move this slightly in this way. And I can just save this for a minute. Okay, now when I have this form here, I would like that, when somebody reads the card, the data should go here. I would like that, information to go into that in the context. So here, if you look at it, we have, we have a field called as first name, right? If you look at this, this is my full name data card. This is my data card value, right? Last name. I have this last name data card here, right? And in this case, we have this data card value, right? This is where the value is coming from in this context, right? So now what will happen is that I want this information to come from my card reader, right? So I go to the advanced tab. I can unlock this from here, right? And in this case, this data, rather than it is coming from somewhere, I would like this data to come from my business card reader, right? You can see that I have this business card reader. You can see that these are the fields that it is capable of reading. So if at all I look at it, I can just indicate here that I would like this business card reader, data card, business card reader 2. And if at all this is the name that I have put here, and then I put a dot here, then you can see the all the fields that will be here. All right. For example, if at all I say that I have a first name, for example, or last name, whatever one that I want here. So if at all I say last, all right, these are the properties here. So I select here last name now. So what do I want here? Now my business card reader 1 data shall be read into this form, which is here. All right. So you can, we can definitely go and get the data when we want it. We can always get the data, and then we can always get the data from the business card reader. Whatever data that we want, we can always, bring it here as we want to. All right. Maybe, for example, we will map the data from the business card reader field into this as many as times as we want over here. All right. So when we look at it here, we have this now the browser screen. Now what I want is that this is my browser screen, or we will have this browser screen gallery. This is the gallery control, which is available here. And here we have a title. You can see that we have a title here. Now this title, we would like to, probably, map it to the first name or last name, whatever that we wish to enter here. So you can see that this item dot full name, which has come here, instead of full name, I will say here dot last name. You can see that this field here. So this will be mapped to the last name into this over here. If we want, we can always change the subtitle, etc., which is there in this case. Now understand, now see the magic here. If at all I go here and I will go and say save this file, and I will say play. Now you see here, you can see this here, browser. Here we have this buttons and all. This is phone. How I want to read it, I can always do that. I will add a record. Now when I say add a record, right? Now in this case, I will say scan business record. Now you can see that if I have a business card reader, it will be possible for me to get this business card reader data coming into this over here. All right. So what I will do is that I will go to this folder where I have got this. All right. I go to this here. I will select the field from the folder, which is that folder. Give me a second. AI builder from Power Platform. AI builder from Power Platform. This is my lab. This is my lab data. Wait a minute. Lab images. Yeah, business card. So this is the image for the business card. All right, you can see the image. I can just select this business card image from here, and I can say open. Right. Remember, I should have added some more things into this. Now you see Wilcox has come here. You can see the last name of this in this business card. There is a last name Wilcox. This is the power of artificial intelligence, which is brought inside the Power Platform. I'm sorry for overshooting this time due to some initial configuration here. Now it is pretty easy for me. In case I would like to go back, maybe I would like to now add here more fields. For example, this field, I will say unlock, and it is telling me that it is coming from somewhere, the default value. It is coming from job title. No, I don't want it from job title. I will say that business card reader 2 dot. It is going to show me everything here, whatever is there in the form. All right. You can see here that I have mobile phone, last name, display name, blah, blah, everything that is there. All right. So if at all I say here, job title, right? Now you can see that account director goes over there and like that. So building up such type of applications with the help of, artificial intelligence builder or AI builder can be really productive for the developers as well. And that is the reason why, this product, Power Automate and Power Apps can be useful in several scenarios. All right. Probably, you have people who already have got their scanned business cards. You have ask them to probably get a photograph, bring it here, store it in repo, and then run this kind of AI builder, and it can do that for us. You can see that now this is there. In case I try to go here and I have only one card, maybe I select a different format here, you can see that it is going to read from here as well, right? It is not that card always has to be that clearly identified, but it can still read the card from here. If at all you look at it, this picture, this is also having the same name. So even if this card is kept like this, it can still get the data. For example, here, it is already reading the data for me from this particular card. Irrespective of the card type, it is going to do that for me over here. All right. So in this fashion, artificial intelligence in productivity apps and power apps, which is going to be the next generation power apps, is going to be the next generation apps which every company and its developers, not only developers but power users, will be creating, and they will be able to use this developing such type of applications and get the data there. There can be several use cases. For example, you have used the card reader for this. There are several other things like object recognition. Maybe people are like, I have used it successfully with one of my clients, whereby there was a construction company, and in that construction company, when the site engineer visits a particular site of construction, they have we developed an app where they could just take a photograph of any raw material which is there, or a sample of the raw material, and say that we need 5,000 bricks, for example. The app is capable of recognizing and connecting it to the backend system, and then we ran a automated flow which could place an order, of course after proper approvals, etc., whatever is there. So this is the power and magic of Power Automate, Power Platform technologies. And also the one that we saw was a CoPilot, which you might have found very interesting. That can be, once it arrives on your desktops, you can get going and you can get started using with that. Any questions about this AI builder, what I have shown you here? After that, we will have a customary, closure of the session. Sorry, I have overshot the time by some time. Anything you would like to ask? Are there any developers in this webinar? They can definitely ask anything they want to. I think there are no more questions now, Jyot. Are we good to close?
So I guess we don't see any hand raised or any queries in the chat. Still wait for half a minute or 10-15 seconds more. Sure. So we end this session at this juncture, and I hope you guys enjoyed this session, though there were some technical glitches and there were breaks in between. And before we end, I would like to thank Nived for sparing time and making a lot of efforts in terms of concising many topics into just a 90 minutes area, 90 minutes thing. And I have a humble request that there is a small feedback form in case you get time, the people who have attended, they can take out 2 minutes and just fill that. That would be an encouragement. And we look forward for another episode of a similar webinar on a different topic. And thanks a lot. Thanks, Nived, again, and thanks everyone who have been a part of this webinar. And thanks for the team at Optimistic who have organized this. So that I'm repeating that there's a feedback form which is on the chat window. You can just click on that and give your valuable feedback. Thanks everyone.
Thank you so much, Navjot, for giving me this opportunity to speak the audience. And I'm looking forward. We can have some more things like this coming in the future. Thank you, Optimistic team, for organizing such a wonderful, webinar that we have. And hats off to you guys. Everyone has done great. And thank you once again to everyone who has participated in this webinar. We had a short duration. I would also like to thank you, Navjot, as well for giving me this opportunity. We have been together for a number of years, and we always enjoy organizing such things, spreading knowledge, and letting people know about how technology can help or how it is evolving. Thank you so much. Have a nice evening ahead of all of you.
Thanks a lot, sir. I appreciate it.
Thank you. So, Navjot, may I leave the meeting now?
Sure,
Shall I?
sure.
Yeah,
Please, you
yeah,
can, sir.
because I have
Yeah,
another session starting in some time.
sure,
Right?
sure.
Thank you.
Thanks, Todd. Yeah,
Thank you, Nived.
anyways.
Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you.
Navjot will get this recording session, right?
You would be getting an email from our side, Vinaya, with the recording which would be published. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks.